Welcome back to the Whimsical Workshop. In this video we are going to make these adorable little fabric baskets. I've got 4 sizes and I'm going to show you the steps on how to do them. They're quick, they're easy, and they don't take a lot of fabric. So let's get started. So to start doing these, you're going to need to download the pattern, which I will link below the video, and it will give you all the measurements to make different size fabric baskets. This one here is the size small basket, and to make the size small, you're going to need to cut 2 13-inch squares of your lining fabric and 2 13-inch squares of your outer fabric, and you will also need 2 13-inch squares of Deco Bond interfacing. This is a little bit stiffer than normal interfacing. Once you have all of those, you will press the Deco Bond following the manufacturer's instructions to the wrong side of the fabric, which I've already done here. And then we need to trim, we need to cut out the bottoms. So how we do that is I do them 2 layers at a time, but you can do them 1 at a time. And each basket has a different measurement for this corner. So for the 13-inch, what I'm calling the small basket, you need to cut a 3-inch square out of the bottom of the 2 base corners. So there's that one. And you can draw it and cut it with scissors. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm just doing this for speed, because, you know, I'm Speedy Gonzales. There we go. So there's those. And then do the same thing to the lining pieces. Okay, so the next step is to put the 2 lining pieces right sides together, which I already have here, and you put the 2 outer pieces right sides together, like this. And then we're going to sew down the outer sides and across this bottom for the outer basket. For the inner basket, we're going to sew down the sides and we're going to sew just in a little, but leave an opening for turning in the lining. So those are, I'm going to show you the rest of the steps, but the baskets get smaller as we go. So this one here is the size extra small, I think. Yes, this is the extra small. So here it is already sewn. I've sewn down both sides and across the bottom of the outer. And I sewed down both sides and in on each side, but I left an opening here to turn my bag when I'm all done. So that is that one. And then once they are sewn, the next step is to sew the base seam, which is right here on this lining. And to do that, you take your bag, your fabric basket. To do that, you take the basket, which is like this, and you just align this seam and this seam. And you'll see it makes a nice square bottom. And then I have one seam going one way and the other seam going the other. So that's going to the left, this one's going to the right, and we're going to sew it. And we're going to repeat on this side for the bag, the outer basket. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the lining pieces. Just like that. Again, we have our opening for turning. And then once we've done that, which I've done here, you're going to go ahead and turn the outer bag right side out. So this is what the bottom looks like. And we have our lining, which is not, this is wrong side out. And you want to leave it that way, and you slide the lining over the outer and just push it in there. This one I left the opening on the side. You can leave it on the bottom or the side, it doesn't matter. Just work it in there, and then you're going to align the sewn seam on the outer bag with the sewn seam on the lining first, and you're going to align the raw edges of both pieces. And I like to use Wonder Clips because they're a little easier on me than pins, because this is an awkward shape. And I'm just going to clip the 2 pieces together, just like so. And I'm aligning, again, even if you have to kind of pull this in and push it till they get aligned correctly, and then just clip all the way around. And then once you've clipped it, take it over to the sewing machine, and I lay it bottom side up, and I push this out of the way, and you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam all the way around the top lip, which is this guy. You can see I've sewn it all the way around. And this is where that opening in the lining is helpful, because now we're going to turn it right side too. And you just work through the opening. And then I stick my hand in there and I push out my bottom corners to make sure they're nice and sharp. Just like that. And then we push the lining into the bag. Well, actually, before you do that, you're going to want to press this opening so the raw edges are inside the seam line, and just top stitch this down on your sewing machine to stitch the opening closed. It's inside, so you're not going to see it, especially if I use black thread. Once that is sewn, you push your lining into your little fabric bag, your fabric basket. I guess I should just call them fabric bags. I can't seem to call them the right name. And then I'm going to go over and I'm going to press this so I have a nice sharp edge all the way around, and I'm going to top stitch it. And then once that's done, you can just fold the edge over, and there you go. You have a little fabric basket you can store things in. And this is the rectangle version. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these, and I'll show you what they're all going to look like at the end. Alright guys, here they are, the sweet little fabric baskets all made. As you can see, they're really quick and easy and kind of addicting, I have to say. I was only planning on making one, and as you see, I have 4 here. I hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial on how to make these, and if you do make any fabric baskets, make sure you leave them in the comments below. I'd love to see what you come up with. And as always, I thank you for watching.